This video is brought to you by CoolStuffInc.com, where you can find cool stuff in stock.
Hello, and welcome back to another day in the arena. It's me, it's CGB. Today in the arena, a bit of a tempo/combo deck to try to keep white decks off balance. The idea mostly came from seeing how the mono blue deck wasn't terrible against mono white, as long as they had Sky Maul and tried to put a bunch of counters on a thing. A bounce spell or two could really interfere with their plan, and then if we knocked them out with some kind of a combo, such as playing multiple time walks in a row, it actually was a better matchup than I expected. And since mono white is still the most popular deck out there, a little bit of tempo combo sounded like a good plan for today. So here it is. Izzet Face Punch. The combo, if you're looking for it, just right off the bat, is Unleash Fury and Dual Strike. Combining these cards often means that you can hit somebody for 20 power. So if, for example, on turn 3 you play a Stormwing Entity, and on turn 4 you cast an Unleash Fury, a Dual Strike, and then an Unleash Fury, it's 2 prowess triggers, so this is 5. Unleash Fury number 1 makes it 10. Unleash Fury number 2 makes it 20. 20-point swing. Done. Works a lot of the same way with Sprite Dragon, since you can often get this high enough by turn 4 to do that. So if your opponents are playing aggressive decks with little interaction, or they're tapping out doing some kind of a combo, or they tap out for like an ultimatum, sometimes you just get them, and it's really, really fun. So the deck has Phoenix of Ash because Rogues is annoying. The deck has Brazen Borrower and Unsummon, and then it has 4 Shocks and no Bone Crusher Giants. This is because right now, bounce is better than like just killing something against mono white for sure, because of Selfless Savior. So if you can just out of nowhere bounce their suited up creature, that usually is more than enough to get the job done, whereas a Bone Crusher Giant is 2 mana, sometimes doesn't even kill the thing. Same thing with Scorching Dragonfire and cards like that. So give the bounce spells a chance. I think they're better for this deck overall. We have a good little number of threats with Sprite Dragon, Riddle Form, Phoenix, the other side of Borrower, and Entity, so we can often get there, and don't underestimate the power of Shock and Dual Strike to go to the face if necessary. A couple of ops. The last time I played Izzet, it was a 20 land deck, and I think I actually ended up going down to like 16 lands because I was flooding out every game. This time, I'm mana screwed every game. So I actually cut the ops for more land, and I'm up to 22, and I'm considering going to 26. I've had so many mana screwed games, it is driving me crazy. And the requirements are a little tough. You really, really want a turn 1 tapped blue and red land, because you do have cards like Stormwing Entity, and Phoenix of Ash and Brazen Borrower, and you do often need like triple to quad red because you want to cast your Dual Strike. You don't always have a chance to foretell it, and Unleash Fury, and it's kind of weird on the requirements, but I've had a horrible time just playing a 3rd land, even with 4 Ots in the deck and 20 land, and so I this is where I'm at right now. You might need to raise the land. Everybody tells me I play too many lands, but I like winning games. And this deck, if it curves out, can often just kill the opponent on turn 4 in the air. So maybe it should play more land, because that's the real plan. Anyway, that's an overview of the deck. Izzet Face Punch, the ultimate Unleash Fury Izzet Stormwing Dual Strike build for your entertainment. We're going to try to face punch mono red, face punch mono white, face punch Dimir Rogues, face punch Sultai Ultimatum, and be a little bit of play our own brew today. Play something a bit off meta. So, on that note, we have to dedicate our video. So today's video, we're going to go to the store and grab a sweet deal. I think I saw one earlier. I think Cleric of Life's Bond is a card that gets played in the Cleric decks, so I'm sure I'm going to play it at some point. And this one goes out to Jalapeno374, the latest YouTube member at the time that I checked this. Thank you 291 people who have signed up. You guys are awesome. And there are bonus videos. There's 15 bonus videos with a new one coming very soon, the 3rd episode of Covert Go Lore. Probably launch it sometime today. So, here it is. And thank you very much, Jalapeno374. Now we dive in. Let the face-punching nonsense begin. 94%, and we're on the draw. And mulling. How many dragons do we need? I guess we need all the dragons. We have to draw Fury later. Drawing 2 Fury would be bad. We're up against Gigantha. Usually means Rakdos Sacrifice. But we see a forest. And why not the 3rd Sprite Dragon? Why not? Turn 2, what you got? Adventure awaits. Look at your top 5. You may reveal a creature card and put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom. If you didn't put a card into your hand, draw. Okay. I don't know what's happening. Let's get a little Sprite Dragon action going, since Riddle Form can pump it. Drew the entity. We'll need another land before we can even consider it. They buy Gigantha. What is going on with their hand? Well, I don't plan to play a spell next turn unless they play something, so I guess we'll double Dragon. Dragon Tribal. Let's go. Miss a land drop? Ugh. Opponent missing land drop? What is going on? Discard the Gigantha. LOL. Seize the spoils. They're Naya, and they don't have what they need. Okay. I think it's time to move and make these dragons better instead of playing the 3rd one. If they, I don't know, somehow wipe the board. At this point, I don't know what could happen. They draw a source of some kind. Now, they kept this hand. It must have something they like. Some part of their strategy that they're trying to make happen. Open the Omen Paths. 2 mana of any color, blue and red. Baby Godzilla. Rodan. Allowing you to cast Open the Omen Paths. And make 4 mana. Add 2 mana of any one color and 2 mana of any other color. Okay. I'm just going for the ride, I guess, at this point. They still could have made more mana, right? Yeah, they could have opened the Omen Paths. Maybe they have another way to do this? Or they need another mutate creature? Uh-huh. Okay. And now that only costs 1, sure. I wonder if they play Snakeskin Veil to give it hexproof. I don't... White mana now. Okay. Man, it would be a real shame if you were to do all that and die. One might say it's infuriating. And that's game! I don't know what I just saw. on the play. Cool. 2 tap lands, not cool. We'll have to scry right into an untapped land like a boss. That's the play. That's what we do here. Untapped land. Untapped land. So important to hit your 2-drop on turn 2. Mono white will give you no quarter. No! Curse you. Let's see what they play. Oh, man. So obnoxious. But now the lifelinker's gone. Let's get this party started. Is that the play? Do you think they'll attack with the dog? And we do have a dual strike. We don't want to give them any reason to kill the dragon. We want them to think that it's not very scary. Okay, cool. Pretty cool, I think. We'll have to be ready for Linden next turn. It would be great to draw land here. All right, double Infuriate, and we have a dual strike. We don't have triple red, do we? So, if they have a Linden here, I really, really, really want to bounce with Brazen Borrower. But I need to get the Riddle form down. I don't have a choice here. Now if they deal with the Sprite Dragon, it takes time and effort from them. Although, powering this up might ambush the Savior. But then we're giving up so much damage. I think they're just dead next turn with Dual Strike Infuriate if we have both of these. I know it doesn't have haste, I'm just flexing. Yep. Lurrus combo assemble. But no lifelink this turn, so come on, untapped red. Let's do this. Let's do this. Come on. Son of a... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I think they're just dead the next turn, though, if we bounce the Lurrus here. We have to do it before they untap with the Alseid of Life's Bounty. Bounce spells better than burn spells right now. There is a chance I won't be able to power up this Riddle form without an Infuriate. But I guess if I can't, then I'm dead anyway. They can't kill this Sprite Dragon. But I think they would have if they did. And they're playing life gain, so maybe they just don't have removal. I've definitely played that deck. Down to 2. Don't kill the dragon. A little tempo can go so far against mono white. But will it finish the job? Okay. We still need to power up the Riddle form now. The opponent has flyers for days. Because they can sacrifice the Savior, make a 1/1. So we need another, I don't know. I don't know. I think we lose to that. I think the Moth is going to win. Let's find out. Another riddle form. Yep. Not a lot of choice here. So the opponent sacks here. This comes back with a flyer. Yeah, we lose. It's game. Let's make sure they know how to do it. They know how to do it. God. Oh, they even did it in a weird order. If we had a shock right there. If we just had a shock right there. All right, so they say blue, so we say go. Then what? I guess we can block here and we go to 1. They're doing all this now. So weird. Yeah, I feel like Moth was their only out. All they have to do is attack. Okay, that's enough. Oh, that makes me so angry. Any land and we would have won. At least we're elite. We've got that going for us. New AG, number 273. Yep, we're back to percentage gamers because Rogues is a stupid deck. But maybe we can get back up there by defeating one of the best in the land. This hand has the combo. It needs to draw land. It needs to draw red land. Having the temple is a good start. Must have been a tough keep. They tanked on what to put back for quite a while. This is mono red. They play mono red. Foretell. I'm going to try to give the combo an honest try here. It would be great to draw land, cast Stormwing Entity, and then the next turn cast Unleash Fury Dual Strike. Here they come. Not my land. Okay. Definitely not the card we want to draw. Still mana screwed. Great. Makes me really happy. Anytime, dude. It's not hard to bone crush the Sprite Dragon. It really isn't. Okay. They stole the land I needed, and I still don't draw one. So what do we do? We can unsummon and Infuriate and blow up their attack step. I think a big problem here is that this Intimidator... Yeah. This Intimidator can make this a coward, so it can't block. So we bounce it now. We hope they play a burn spell to remove this, and the Infuriate saves it. Blanks their attack step. But then we're out of 1 mana plays to play the Stormwing Entity. So we're relying on Unleash Fury on Sprite Dragon. And we hope they stay mana screwed, because we are. It's only fair. Can't really block, because if we go for the Infuriate, then they go for the removal spell, and then we lose the dragon. So, big brain play here, not trying to remove it, and not making any plays. And then they replay Intimidator, which we can replay Borrower. My turn. Okay, we need a land. Come on. Come on, deck. Don't be trash to me. Don't be trash. Come on. All right. So do we play the Entity? We can win the game next turn. The opponent needs untapped land to Embercleave. Do we just win with Unleash? No, because we have Dual Strike. And this is blue. Ah, all right. Let's go for this. We need red. And we have to remember that there's a Robber of the Rich, so we leave it like this. we do want to draw it, so we actually want the robber to attack. So we attack here. The opponent, if they use a mana to make this unblockable, they don't kill us, right? They drew a land. That's an Embercleave, potentially. They're at 16. I hope they feel really safe. They're going to think it through. They've thought through every play in only the big-brainedest mono-red way. And they don't attack with the robber? You master. Okay. Well, I think this still wins. So, if we Brazen Borrower, if we dual strike a Brazen Borrower here, that's really good. We can also Unleash Fury. 1, 2, 3, 4. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Not quite lethal. It's like they know. It's like they know. All right, do we attack? We're going to draw what we need next turn. We need to make sure the robber doesn't steal it and that the Annex doesn't attack. And we're at 8. And we can double borrow. And we can block with one thing. Let's say go. When they try to go to attacks, we're going to bounce the Annex and the robber. I'm nervous. What if the full control doesn't hold? It's supposed to hold. There we go. It wasn't holding. Oops. I'm supposed to cast that first. Got too excited. Well, let's see what they do. The robber can't steal from me now. So there's that. Okay, so we force them to block because we have double Unleash Fury. Okay. Or I say force them to block, I block, force them to act is what I mean. Wait, the opponent has Robber of the Rich. Okay. Okay, the opponent has Robber. So will they chump block this is the question. And if they do we still win? I think so. No blocks. Unleash Fury. Unleash Fury. Fury has been unleashed. Die. Die, Mono Red. Die. Indigo. On the draw. Please. I needs to play first. My deck depends on it. Alright. Let's see what happens. Mono red again. I need land, but I don't need blue land. But I guess it's okay. So we go Sprite Dragon, then we can use the red for Infuriate Shock and the blue for Brazen Bouncing because we have multiple borrowers. That is very, very sus. Very Bone Crusher, right? So we pass. Well, Brazen Borrower, whatever. Yep, there's Annex. Nice to see ya. Get out. And there's a Stormwing Entity, which makes me kind of sad because we could... I guess we let the opponent replay the Annex, and then we bounce it with Unsummon and play Stormwing Entity after playing Brazen Borrower on end step. That's pretty good. The Brazen Borrower gets in a hint before it gets Bone Crushed. We only have one pump with Infuriate. We could really use like a Mountain and an Unleash Fury. Now we'll see if the opponent also runs Frostbite. They probably do. They have snow-covered mountains, after all. This can't block, so they might let it live. So let's attack before we do anything else. If they take even one hit from this, we're pretty happy. Nice. Okay. Boing. They might have Frostbite for this too. Frostbite's nasty. It changes the mono red complexion. Our 3 toughness things aren't safe. We need more red, and this doesn't do it. Like, we're really close to just Infuriate, Unleash Fury, and even on a Brazen Borrower or a Sprite Dragon, that can be so brutal. What are they thinking about? I think they have a Bone Crusher Giant, by the way that the early game played, and they could have a Frostbite, but they might also have a Rimrock Knight. If the Stormwing Entity lives, they definitely have a Rimrock Knight. And they just Annex again. Okay, there's the Frostbite. I don't know why they didn't play it last turn. Like, I really can't explain. So I don't feel like I need to bounce the Annex yet. The opponent is going to want to what? How do I... Okay, are they going to give me something to shock? Probably not. Riddle Form is pretty good after a Sprite Dragon, but maybe that's not absolutely necessary. We can hold up Shock, play the Riddle Form. It might even eat the Annex if they don't increase their devotion. If they go for Embercleave here, it's a big hit, but we have the Borrower to mess with it next turn. And they're down to 14. Someday there's going to be another Mountain in our deck, or another red source, and we're just going to have Infuriate, Unleash Fury, and they're going to die. I think they are just going to go for Embercleave here. We welcome that. Okay, they're going for it. We're going to shock their face. And go for the combo. Hopefully we draw it. Down to 10. It's the land, but it's not a red land. But we get to either play Sprite Dragon, Infuriate, or Unleash Fury. And we get to bounce. Maybe we're just supposed to Dragon. But then we don't get in for extra here. Yeah. You know what? We'll just bounce it now. And then we get in for the extra. We don't need to hold. opponent is at 12. Any one of these hitting next turn with a pump spell is lethal. So can we save a blocker? It shouldn't be Riddle Form, and it shouldn't be Borrower, so we'll save a Sprite Dragon. Really unfortunate to draw 3 of our 5 islands when any mountain would have made it easy mode, but that's Magic. Shuffler's fine, right? It's totally fine. This is fine. Get ready for a big punch to the face. There's the giant. We knew about that. Show off the face punch. You love to see it. Down goes mono red. Fighting Soft Boy. All right. Playing Yorion. This is the kind of deck that we might be able to pull the combo off on. Might be able to get there. How about we go first with a nice hand? How about we go first with good mana? Let's go. Yes, but we didn't go first. Big mistake. That's a big oops. All right. We could try to set up for like a real out of nowhere experience for the opponent with Dual Strike into Riddle Form, into like Sprite Dragon, Infuriate, Dual Strike. I'm not sure. I'm really not sure how I'm supposed to play it. Probably Emergent Ultimatum Sultai, and they play Haven, so they're tapped out. So they might have Binding of the Old Gods. Binding the Old Gods. We could bounce the Haven and try to slow them down. We can also set up the Dual Strike, which I think is better. I wonder what double Dual Strike does here. Can we set up double Dual Strike, Sprite Dragon, Infuriate? We need to draw a few more land. But maybe there's an RKO we can play here. Yep, there's the Cultivate. Man. Maybe I'm supposed to play 26 land in this deck if the combo is what I'm focused on. Maybe. Anything I play, they'll probably tap mana and kill. So we're not going to get too much damage through. How do I mess with them? I mean, I can get in a nice hit with the dragon, but it doesn't matter because then the dragon will die. And I can't flash in a Borrower. Like, everything about this is just bad. So, I could play the Riddle Form and try to be set up that way. And hopefully they don't kill it. But if they play like a Binding Old Gods, feels bad. It also makes it more likely that they're going to hold up cards like Eliminate, which is also very bad. Well, something we can bounce, I guess. I don't know. They have mana open. We have a Phoenix of Ash. We power this up, they kill it. What do they take from us? Probably the Infuriate. We can't cast the Infuriate. Like, everything about this is terrible. Ugh. So I guess I have to set up to RKO them. And hope that they, like, tap out. And then we have double dual strike and a top deck pump spell and a Sprite Dragon. But when you're missing land drop, we're probably not going to get there. Okay, another Haven. Kind of weird. Bayorian. Seems like they plan to hold up mana for the rest of the game. We could double bounce their Havens. Oh, this is just deplorable. So we don't want to play this because they'll kill it with Heartless Act. So we just say go. And if they kill it with Heartless Act, then it gets exiled too. But man, another blue would be so nice to be able to add pressure at instant speed. The mana for this deck is surprisingly awful. Like, we just get so badly treated. Okay, they tapped out.
The world tree will be kindling for cold times pine.
So, I mean, you're not going to minus it. What are you doing? Just plus. I don't know what's taking you so long. They get my land. I hate you. I hate you so much. I really, really freaking hate you right now. Okay, third red. That plays Sprite Dragon and double dual strike, but we don't have a pump spell. So, we're still working on that. Let's punch him in the face. Yep, drawing a blue source would be nice to help us keep adding pressure and keep bouncing the Tibble. And then we need to draw a pump spell to go with the dragon. And then we might kill him out of nowhere. It'll take a frickin' miracle, though. Opponent lost. They're just lost. They don't know what to do with themselves. Too many awesome options, right? If they play the Tibble and they exile the Phoenix of Ash, we can power up the Riddle Form and get them somehow. Any spell will do. Yorian. Okay. So this is to hold up removal mana. But they didn't even... Okay, their one land open does have a Haven. They could have put all their Havens on one land, though. Then they could tap for 4. I don't know. They're going to take some damage from this. There's a blue source. We're kind of doing the thing. Hold on. Am I supposed to Sprite Dragon here? Or Stormwing Entity? I think the Entity, because the Dragon's Haste is still part of our RKO plan. I will bounce your Yorian. I will attack with my critters. Opponent should eliminate the riddle form, but if I hold open mana like I'm going to pump the Phoenix, maybe they won't. Okay, they do eliminate riddle form. Do we want to pump Phoenix or play Entity? I think it's Entity. It dodges Shadow's Verdict, which is very popular in this deck right now, and helps us find the pump spell. I mean, Dual Strike with Shock. How good is that? Not great, right? They're at 16. I mean, 10 shocks to the face sounds really funny. What about Dual Strike, Dual Strike, Dual Strike? So this says, whenever you cast your next instant or sorcery, copy it. And then that makes things that say, whenever you cast your next instant or sorcery, copy it. And whenever you cast your next instant or sorcery, copy it. The problem is that we need 4 red. 4 red. I've got a bad feeling about that. I've got a really bad feeling about that. But if we play Sprite Dragon, 1 Dual Strike, and a Shock, how much damage is that? 1, 2. So it copies it. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then the Dual Strike. So it's 1, 2, 3. 7, 8. It's not that much. It's not great. I've got to do better, I think. Sorry, really bad at decks like this. Takes a lot more brain power for me than it seems to for people who play this type of Magic all the time. Tybalt returns.
So you've seen through my disguise.
It has to be an instant or sorcery. That's the good news. They also should be thinking about these Brazen Borrowers, and I can just bounce this to my hand if they play it again. So yeah, it's a good exile. They must have another eliminate too. There is the red source. Big shocker. All right, pump spell. Dual strikes. Out of nowhere victory. Opponent hits land.
Painful memories.
If I had just kept... Well, if I'd kept, I would have lost. Oh, they're tapping a lot of mana. Okay. But they still have 2 mana open, so they have Heartless Act and Eliminate. Maybe they didn't draw them. It's probably our best shot. Oh, and they're... Okay, and they're doing this. It's pretty good, too. I don't have a way to gain Trample. I just need to get lucky. All right, come on, draw Unleash Fury. Make this game interesting. They're tapped out. They're tapped out, guys. Draw Unleash Fury 1 time. Come on, baby. I don't want them to trade. I want them to take the hit. Okay. God, so obnoxious. All right, we can get Phoenix of Ash back. I think we just cast you. Still no pump. Come on. What the hell? Why does the deck hate me so? The opponent might minus the Tibalt, which is why I did it the way that I did it. I'm pretty sure we're just dead because they just drew a buttload of cards, but... With this deck, it's really hard to scoop because you might just out of nowhere win. Okay. No! You piece of garbage! That's my fury. That's my fury impression. Screw you. Screw you. And we are back for the post-game wrap, and I feel like I need to play about 100 games with this deck to figure out the mana. I feel like the mana cost me more than anything else, and I can't tell how much of it was bad luck and how much of it was bad deck building. Because, yes, sometimes you need a lot of red. Doing something along the lines of this is really hard when you're also trying to do something along the lines of this. You know, that's a lot of blue. This is a lot of red. And there are games when you need to do either or both. And on turn 2, you need this or you need this. It's complicated. So work on the mana. I do think that one of the cheats might be to just play more land. And by that, I think I mean DFCs. So maybe cards like Spikefield Hazard, right? That can be a spell to turn on Riddle Form and help go face, or it can be a land. Something like that. But I think we need a lot more. And the cards that underperformed a bit, Shock was just kind of okay. Cards that overperformed, Brazen Borrower and Unsummon were a pretty big deal for me to be able to play an interesting cat and mouse game. Infuriate was okay. I probably don't need 3 though. Maybe Unleash Fury and Dual Strike is enough, and we don't need Infuriate at all, because it did feel a little all in, and it made some of my draws, like, I didn't have many options going on, so maybe that's the cut. But this is an interesting deck. It is really fun to absolutely punch them in the face out of nowhere and get there. Dual Strike is a pretty cool card. I'm still embarrassed that I messed it up the time I cast it against Mono Red. Still won. Don't give me a hard time. Anyway, this deck is sweet. If you've got a lot of these Izzet cards already, I strongly advise you to check this particular build out. The only mythics are Borrower. They don't necessarily have to be there. You could play Into the Royal, but I think Unsummon is probably best. Unsummon and Unsubstantiate could take the place of the Borrower. And then other than that, there are no mythics, just a handful of rares. Dual Strike is an uncommon. Unleashed Fury is an uncommon. So go out there. Punch some faces. It feels particularly good against Mono White. Thank you for watching this video. As always, I will see you in the next video. You're cool.